Good afternoon. This is Yogesh from Tirupati Software. In current video session, I would like to make how the laboratory and radiology test master are prepared and how that will be reflected into the patient billing also and formula. So I will make you go through about this session. So let's log in into the TTD. We log in into the user account, so we have in the software login. Now let's go into the master module. So we are in a master. So if you like to make any group for laboratory section, or for example if it's virology, cytology, or serology like that, so you can go to the number 7 into the master add lab test group. So here you can group them, either you can get new. For example, there is no available with serology. So we can define here serology test configuration with the respective requested ID, and we can give any specific color code also the respective user, and just to submit. So we can create a use test group also. After doing so, we can able to make a new test procedure. For example, lab test subgroup number 8, and you can define under serology any specific test, and here you can put the test name like the let me find out Vidal slide method. Here the test price for respective test like 500. If it is cash patient price, it is local insurance like 650 for local insurance company, or international insurance like 750 price for that. Any referral discount or 10%, 5% like that. Those Vidal slide method. So there we can put any test code if we need to use them. Here the method of test volume, which we like to take the volume or semen, or how which the body fluid be required. So we can select the body fluid for respective test, how much quantity will be required. Here in the inventory section, any specific test or blood container, urine container volume can be maintained here, and we can save the test master here. So this is the test master. Let me see how many tests we have created, and we will have the respective test into the master window. Go to lab test group, and we can view the test which we created. Now after that, if we like to make a CBC test protocol, that like this here 3 tests in different group data. So here no means there is no any test protocol has been defined. Now you like to define, so we go to here CBC test here. If we need to define here first test protocol, so let me see any reference value and structure which we have. So there is CBC test information. So for example, CBC first protocol is required to maintain for CBC or RBC test procedure. Here if we let me see this define, how we can go it, we can define like this way, left and right alignment, to make you easy the value putting during the test master. So I am putting to this window in half portion like this way, and this way we are defined. So here you can see CBC reference value are like this is the unit. So we can put into the unit the respective test, along with here the reference value for male female. We can put here how much the reference value will be used. For example, let me do some more larger window to make you understandable. Here the age value of the male patient or female patient. What is the test range? 4.5 to 5.5 for male patient. So we can put here test reference value, and similarly for female patient 100, and here we can select female, and what is the range for 4 to 5, so 4.0 to 5.0. and here any interpretation data to be added, so we can use the RBC respective interpretation. Okay, this is the one interpretation line we can use it into the respective comment line. Along with, if we need one more interpretation, so we can use the interpretation of RBC test value. So this is two interpretation line we are adding into the first parameter of the CBC test. So that is RBS we submitted. In the same test, another test procedure to be created, that is the WBC, for example. So let's see, we can here define WBC and its unit we can use here, CUMM, like that. So this way the unit of the test, what is the reference value or parameters, and WBC's reference value we can interpretation match information we can maintain here, and here the WBC's another values we can use here, so we can collect the respective information. Here the test range is normal, like that, from range to range or numerical value. So this way we have to use these values, like for 4500 to 1100, 45 4500 to 1100, 11,000. Again for female patient, this is the 100 age range for the children, or like that. If we have different age wise variations, so we can give them also like this, different price reference value bifurcation. So this is the second part of the CBC test. And similarly, if we go for hemoglobin third test window, if we define here third test window, and here the unit of the respective test is G/DL, so we can put the reference unit, and here hemoglobin's interpretation information we can mention here, and the interpretation of the, we can make the information into the report window file, and how much the reference value for male female. There is the hemoglobin 13.8 to 17.2 to 7.4, and it's for female patient there is the different rate. Here we go for 35.12.12, 15.1, the female patient's hemoglobin reference value bifurcation we can divide into the CBC test like this way. Now let's go for the hemoglobin test. So for example, I will make it complete preparation. This is the percentage unit, and here hemoglobin test reference value. Okay, here into the hemoglobin test reference value we will use the hemoglobin test related interpretation information also. Hemoglobin reference value is 38.3 to 46.6, 38.38 to 46.6, 48.6. This is for female, and similarly for female patient you can define here 35.5 to 44.9. So this is the hemoglobin test reference value. So one test we have prepared, and if we go for platelet counts, platelet count is also there, and this is the platelet value is you have defined, and platelets interpretation we can use the platelet information, and here platelet reference information interpretation. To 450. So if sometime the reference value are same for male female, we can avoid to male multiple female, only just default value will be used for every section, and platelet value like this way, and just submit. So this is platelet reference value had defined. Similarly, if we go for MCHC or further on, we can do the everything test definition for respective test, and we can do here the reference value 30 to 100, and here if we have MC with reference value interpretation, so we can do here interpretation of the MCV. So this is MCV defined. Now let me go for MCH defined. MCH test procedure defined into the same CBC test. So here the unit is PG. We can use here PG, and here the reference value is 27 to 34 or 27 to 34, and this is same for female, so we do not need to mention separately also. So we are using interpretation for MCH, and there is no MCH further interpretation. We can use the MCH protocol defined. Now the last one, if we needed MCHC, we can put here MCHC also under this same test, and it is percentage value 32 to 36. So we can do here 32 to 36 in the test reference value here. And if we same female is also need not to mention separately, so we go here, if MCH's interpretation data is there, and just we submit the interpretation information. Now the last one we have RDW, that is the rate cells distribution width, and it's a 11.5 to 14.5 percentage value. So we can use the interpretation lines of the system that has been given like this way, like I put here, and along with the reference information of the RDW. So this is the pathologist CBC1 test parameter we can define like this, and here we can use 11.5 to 14.5, and the same test the value is referred for men. So this is the one test complete procedure like this way you can define. And when you go to check this value, so if we refresh now, so it will bring you yes means test prepared, and here the respective quantity of how much. If you click on quantity, all test parameters which we had defined here with the respective procedure ID will be available. You can like this way. Now somewhere the test reference comes with the formula. Okay, so how you can put here formula we can define into the lab test formula. We go to formula, define lab test formula here. Under that, if you like to make a defined formula for CBC test formula, and with respective example here formula given for hemocrite, it is the volume of divided by RBC divided by total blood count into 1000. Okay, total. Okay, so let me define here this formula. So here for hemocrite test we defining test, that is the RBC total red blood count divided by so white blood cells. Okay, and it is multiplication of overall value with the 100. So let's do here with 100. So this is the hemocrite auto formula calculation based report prepare formula. Now the next test formula is based for the MCV, that is the HCT percentage into divided by RCT count into 10. So we need to prepare for MCV test formula. So we go to here MCV formula. Okay, the MCV stands for HCT percentage and here if I put here HCT percentage and divide by RBC count. So RBC count into whole bracket 10 divided by 10. So this is the MCV formula, and we can define this way. Here I have to make one small correction, that the HCT percentage, how to identify. We go to the test procedure window. Here we have HCT percentage value is this value. Okay, so we have changed this test names or names also HCT percentage. Now we go to back and go to test formula sections. Here now we have to define the test formula for MCHC. The MCH formula is stand for MCH. This is here, and we are needed to be defined hemoglobin divided by RBC. So hemoglobin divided by RBC into it's 10, multiply by 10, like this way. So this way we can define the respective test for MCHC. And on the finally on RT MCHC test, HP by RCT into 100. So MCHC stand for by hemoglobin divided by HCT. So here we have hemoglobin divided by HCT percentage, and after into 100. So 100. This is for MCHC test bifurcation. And similarly the last one is RDWCV. Okay, so distribution, so standard division of RBC and into divided by 100. So which is the last test, RC this is another test, RDWCV. So let's create here first this test procedure, and after that we will define the formula. Into the view test we go here CBC, and I go to here, I can put here test names also. Its unit will be also RDWCV percentage value, and its value need to be fetched from formula. So we go to here formula and just submit this way. So this is the test defined. Now here we like to define the CBC test RDWCV formula here, and this formula will comes from standard RBC volume divided by MCV into 100. So this way you can define the test procedure formula also into the software. And now when you will like to prepare the reports of respective test, one more thing, let me create some test radiologies window also. For example, here are some test window, and you like to make some template report in the system software. So we go to the respective account and we get the test formula window. So let me example for sonography test report. So here we can use the whole abdomen report format, and there we have this kind of the test report data structure onto the software, and we can use the test report window structure here in the report USG. So local, for example, here the USG rate price is like 1500 and 2000 for 3000 for international price, and USG WB whole abdomen, and here the content of the whole abdomen report, like this way you can define. This we are defining the radiology test reports or sonography test, like this way. And this can be get the template of USG report for respective test in the software. when we create to. So one format, if there is multiple format, so you can define another format also with the respective test name, like format, another format is the whole abdomen mail report or UAG, like this. So we can use one more format similarly to getting the drop down window during the test preparation report of the respective test. For example, UAG whole abdomen, so we can put here this test names here also, and the respective contents we can copy paste into the required input box in the system software, like this way, and the whole methods will be used on the drop down window here, like this way. So this is also options. So this way you can define a test report master for radiology services with the respective red mark fields or information has been mentioned, and you can define test